From a personal standpoint, to be quite honest, I've been a bit gloomy the last couple weeks. I'm not really sure why it set in. Maybe because, I did the typical New Year's resolution, I'm going to lose X amount of weight. And maybe just the monotony of that set in and it's no longer fun anymore. I just wanted to give a quick update. So I said, I had a vlog, but I didn't publish it, about returning to, my arm's getting tired, about returning to the Radiant Recovery program. And I started that over, and I'm either day 10 or day 11. I'm kind of losing track. Now, this year, one of the things on this channel that you will see is my weight loss progress. I have 40 to 50 pounds to lose, and I'm ideally hoping to lose at least 40 by June. Well, at the end of last year, I weighed about 175, and I just weighed myself this morning, and I weigh 190 again. Hello, welcome to my channel. This is Jessica E. Thomas, and this is Jessica E. Thomas Life. This channel is about my weight loss journey as well as anti-aging, health, and fitness. Right now I'm focused on my weight loss, and I wanted to do this video to tell you a little bit about my 6-year weight loss journey. In the beginning of this video, I've shown you that I've been a bit wishy-washy on my journey. I think that's common for a lot of people. I think obviously yo-yo dieting is a thing, and committing to something and then quitting and committing and quitting is something a lot of us can relate to, and I have fallen into that trap and that cycle. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about my journey, what has triggered me into stopping when I was ahead, which I've done several times, and I also want to tell you what I learned. So I'll give you several maybe tips, things that I've learned, things that you can apply to your own journey. So let's get started. My 6-year journey started after my daughter Ava was born. So after she was born, I probably weighed in the 150s. So when she was born with her in my body, I still weighed probably like 164, and then she was born, so I was probably down to like 150-ish, and at that point I wasn't happy with my body, but oh my gosh, if I could only go back to that place, I would go back in a heartbeat. However, I did suffer from postpartum depression like I had with all of my children, and my doctor put me on Zyprexa like he did after all of my children. And if you know anything about that drug, it is one of the antidepressant drugs that contributes the most to weight gain. So when I started that drug, I did experience some initial weight gain and also an increase in appetite, and that's very common. And due to that, my weight shot up, and I don't know exactly how far it shot up. I think I went into the 60s, the high 160s or 170s, and I kind of stayed like that for a while. And one of the reasons why was because after she was born, you know, after a baby is born, life just gets chaotic, and it's hard to be regimented, and it's hard to be in any kind of schedule. And because of that, my eating really took a turn for the worse. I started eating junk food and just not planning my meals, not doing meal planning, not really taking care of myself like I should. You know, it's a common story. It's something that happens to a lot of us after we have kids. They're so demanding that we just don't have time to take care of ourselves, and it's okay. I forgive myself. It happens to a lot of us. It happens to the best of us. But, you know, it happened, and it is what it is, and medicine certainly did contribute to it, because I had to stop breastfeeding when I took the Zyprexa, and I know from experience with my first child, whom I breastfed a lot longer, breastfeeding will make you drop weight really quickly. So without that, you don't have that extra caloric burn, and so you're more likely to gain weight. Moving forward, I was tired of having the excess weight, so I decided I wanted to go off Zyprexa, because I blamed the Zyprexa on the weight gain. And what ended up happening was I had a mental health crisis, because I wasn't being regimented, and I didn't have a schedule, and I'm a type of person that really thrives on a schedule. My body needs what it needs, you know, at the same time every day, and needs the same amount of sleep every night. It needs meals at the same time. That's just how my body is, and it's fine. I know that. But I wasn't honoring my body, and so going off the Zyprexa and going on another antidepressant caused some major issues, and I was definitely in crisis. So I was in crisis probably for several months, and during that time I did lose weight, and I got to around 160. So I had been, prior to quitting Zyprexa, I was around 180, and then I lost quite a bit of weight. I got down into the 160s, but eventually I realized I was in such a hole emotionally and mentally that I needed to go back on my medicine. And I did, and again I noticed that initial weight gain and that initial increase in appetite, and I noticed the scale going up. At which point I just got angry. So I just got angry, and I did that thing that I do where I just threw up my hands and said, oh well, here we go again. We're going to gain weight and get fat. So that's what happened that time. Time moves forward. I once again commit to losing weight. I lose some weight, and then my mother-in-law dies. And it was during Thanksgiving, the week of Thanksgiving, and it was in the, we were going into the holiday season. And again, I don't fault myself, but I basically said, you know what, I don't care. I'm going to eat what I want. And I ate what I wanted all through the holiday season, and I don't recommend this as a way of dealing with your emotions, but it's definitely how I dealt with mine. And I ate for comfort. I ate comfort foods. I focused on the sweets that I wanted to eat. Definitely in the throes of addiction, I ate instead of dealt with the emotions that went along with my mother-in-law dying. And it was rough because she had lived next door to us for several years, and my children were able to run back and forth between our house. They would go over there for treats, and so it was extremely difficult. And don't fault myself for falling off the wagon, but that's what happened, and that's how I dealt with it. Last year, starting around July, I was able to commit to a weight loss program, and I went from 192 down to 172. So I lost 20 pounds. And I was at about 172 around Thanksgiving, and then the holidays came, and I told myself I will just try to maintain my weight during the holidays. Well, I saw my weight go up about 5 pounds during the holidays. And I would let myself get very discouraged by that, which in hindsight I shouldn't have. And so I was really ready to, I thought I was really ready to get into weight loss come January 1st, because I did that thing where you say to yourself, okay, January 1st is going to roll around and I am going to get better and I'm going to start my New Year's resolution to lose weight. I totally did that thing, and not only did I do that, there's video proof, but I had like 10 things on a list that I wanted to do to change my life and to make myself better. So I was coming off of that Christmas high, because literally, like, sweets I think give me a high, and I don't think I'm alone in that. And so just the thought of cutting them off and starting all this new stuff put me into a funk, and I was unable to even begin getting back on track because I put so much pressure on myself to do all of these things that are all good things, but trying to do them all at once is not a good idea. So I floundered all this year, all of 2020. We all know that it's been hard to work out because gyms have closed and a lot of people have gained weight, and I have gained weight. So I am back up to as of last Monday Monday I was 194. So I gained all that weight back that I had lost last year and then some, and I think that is the definition of yo-yo dieting. I have been yo-yo dieting for the past 6 years. I could beat myself up for this. I could beat myself up for falling into these patterns that so many people have fallen into, and I have beat myself up about it, and that has actually caused me to want to eat more. I have, mentally punished myself. I've not liked my body. I've been not ashamed of my body, just not happy with it. I have been feeling disconnected with myself because of the way that I look. I've been admiring other people who are skinny and who are fit. What I'm trying to say is I have been not in a proper mind frame to lose weight. And I've learned this through trial and error, what the proper mindset to lose weight is, and I will tell you that in the end. But first I want to go through 8 things that I learned these past 6 years going through the weight loss yo-yo cycle, and I want to share them with you in hopes that maybe it can help you. Okay, a lot of us are on antidepressants. Antidepressants do cause weight gain, but one thing that I learned, and I think this does not just apply to me, keep in mind I am taking it's actually in the antipsychotic drug class, but I'm taking a low dose. Even so, I get weight gain from it. So, and I'm taking the worst culprit of all of them. But I was able to lose 20 pounds. So my advice to you is don't let the antidepressant weight gain get you down. It is possible to lose weight even while you're on these antidepressants. It may just be a little bit harder. Now, my body may be different. You have to experiment with this yourself. But if you can even get yourself to lose 5 pounds, then you've proven to yourself that even though you're on antidepressants, you can lose weight. It is doable. And it is doable for me. I proved it to myself, even though I, in my mind, still at times, even now, say, well, you're on this medicine and it's going to keep you from losing weight. You're never going to get to your weight loss goal because of this medicine. But it's not true. That's a lie. I've proven to myself that I can lose weight on this medicine. The second thing I've learned is eating out of anger is very self-destructive. Punishing yourself for being overweight and eating because you're angry that you're overweight, it's not a good place to be. I know I'm not the only one that does this, but I would say monitor your emotions, and when you find yourself being angry, just kind of check yourself. Just know that that is a weight loss trigger. It's kind of a hard trigger to overcome, to be honest. But remember that this anger and this behavior is keeping you in a cycle that's making you angry and unhappy. So what you need to do is do something different today. Do something different today. Don't wait till January 1st. Do it today. I know there's this whole fat acceptance movement, but you know what? It's okay to admit that you're not happy with how you look, or that you're not happy with how much you weigh. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to love everything about your body. You can accept your body and embrace it, but you don't have to be like, oh, I love this part of me. You don't have to. That's just, we can talk about that more later, that fat acceptance thing. I'm not totally on board with it, if you can tell, but I think it does merit further videos. Number 3, for me, sweets are definitely a trigger. I know this. I can be doing good and I can be on the ball, and then I eat some sweets and then I get in a headspace that's a negative headspace, because food, all of the food you eat causes chemical reactions in your body, in your stomach, in your mind, in your brain. There are chemical things going on in our body when we eat foods, any foods, but there are some foods that really unnaturally throw our bodies out of whack. And sugar is one of those things from me. And that's one thing that I know from experience, and I just need to really watch it. For me, for this weight loss journey, I need to limit or avoid sweets. And if you are having problems with this and you think that sounds impossible, go to radiantrecovery.com and start there. And you can get a hold of your sugar cravings and your sugar addiction, I promise. For me, I'm going to take the approach of limit or avoid sweets on a daily basis, but I am going to allow myself sweets periodically on special occasions, because I think it's important for me just to test myself and train myself to have a sweet and then stop. That's because it teaches me discipline. It teaches me not to be afraid of those foods and not think that when I eat this, it's all going to go to crap. It makes me in control versus the food in control. That's just me, and again, I'll talk about this more in future videos. Number 4, be kind to myself, and you please be kind to yourself. It's okay for your weight to fluctuate during stressful situations. If something like a death in the family, a death in the immediate family, that's extremely, extremely stressful. And if you can't maintain your healthy lifestyle during that, it's okay. it's okay. If you need a brownie in order to get through a day after your mother-in-law died, it's okay. Just be kind to yourself, work through the grief, and then when you're ready to move on with your health journey, with your weight loss journey, you can do that. Number 5, don't let excuses stop me. Don't let the excuse that I have to take an antidepressant stop me from believing that I can lose weight and stop me from trying to lose weight. Don't let cold weather outside be an excuse not to go out and take a walk. Or don't let busyness at work be an excuse not to go work out at lunch. Don't let self-pity rule. Don't say, well, I've tried this 5 times before and it's never worked, be an excuse to not try again. Number 6, start at a place of love for myself and for my body. Do not start from a place of not liking my body, of not being happy with what I look like, of not being happy about who I am or where I am in life. Start at a place of knowing that I have potential, that maybe I'm not my best self right now, but that I'm on the road to being my best self, and I will be my best self in a matter of months, because weight loss, honestly, in the grand scheme, doesn't take that long. Start from a place of appreciating what my body's done for me. It has produced 3 beautiful children, and it's sustained me, has never caused me any, goodness, I'm in excellent health, all things considered, and my main thing that I deal with is depression and anxiety, but as far as health, I don't really deal with that much. So I have a lot of reasons to love my body, and my body, as far as even having children, really responded well to having children, and it bounced back well. So there's a lot of things about me to appreciate, and the same goes for you. There's a lot about you to appreciate. Your body has done so many things for you, has served you well, has taken you through life, and taken you through so many experiences, both good and bad. You've learned from those, and you've only gotten stronger. So just remember, love yourself. Do not start from a place of self-loathing, because that will eventually lead you to self-medicate with food. Number 7, rediscover myself. It's been 13 years since I had my first child. He is now 13 years old. And as a parent, most of us know that you really lose yourself. It's very hard to stay present with yourself because your kids are needing something all the time. Even now, my 5-year-old, every 5 minutes she wants me to go get her something or do something for her. That's parenthood, and it's normal for us to be a little bit disconnected from ourselves. It's normal for us not to have enough time for ourselves. It's normal for us not to be able to even slow down and enjoy the world around us. But take 5 minutes out of your day, get up 10 minutes earlier, read your Bible, meditate. Just think about your past self. What have you accomplished in the past? What has your body done for you? For me, I used to be a swimmer, and I was a pretty good swimmer. I was pretty athletic, to be honest, and I have had to kind of go back into the past. I've even listened to older music that I used to listen to sort of reconnect with myself, back to a place where I felt more connected with me. And that's not selfish, that's not anti-Christian either. It is important for us to love ourselves, for us to appreciate ourselves, and to stay connected with ourselves, to stay connected with what's going on mentally and emotionally. It's hard as a parent. It's really hard, but it's something that I need to do if I want to make this weight loss journey successful. Number 8, and this is the most practical thing, is to eat low-calorie, nutritionally dense foods. So for me, that would be all your proteins, your chicken, beef, fish, eggs, whole eggs, egg whites, not so much cheese, that's high fat. Instead of white breads, have whole grain breads, have millet, quinoa, oatmeal, have any of your whole grains. Fill up with vegetables, lots of vegetables. Because if you compare, like what I was having when I wasn't on my weight loss journey, I was having these little Marie Callender pot pies, which were 600 calories, and they didn't really make me feel full, and they only had 10 grams of protein, whereas what I've been doing this week, and I did when I lost 40 pounds after my second child, is I have made sure that I get about 25 grams of a dense protein per meal, so that's like 4 ounces of chicken, and a lot of vegetables and a cup of whole grains. And that's a lot of food. That's like 3 to 4 cups of food, so that's really going to expand your stomach, and it's only about 500 calories. So that is the way to survive weight loss. I know it. I know this from experience. So focus on your whole foods. Now for me, I'm trying to eat around 1,500 to 1,700 calories, so every calorie needs to count. So if I eat a handful of M&Ms, that's 150 calories. Well, I could eat a whole thing of Chobani yogurt. I could be getting 10 grams of protein, some calcium, it's low fat. There are nutrients in the Chobani that are going to keep me satiated and full. So that is my goal, is to eat the low calorie, nutritionally dense foods, and I will have more videos about this forthcoming. Alright, so those are 8 things, 8 mindset shifts or behavior shifts that I am doing during this weight loss journey to hopefully make it different than the previous journeys, to achieve my goal this time instead of giving up and yo-yoing. And I would love for you to hold me accountable, and I will do my very best to be honest with you, especially if I fall off the wagon. I will come here and I will tell you I messed up, and I would love to have you in the comments just share your successes and failures with me as well. I hope some of this in this video has helped you, inspires you, maybe helps you look at weight loss in a different way. And let's hope that I'm successful this time. I really, really want this time to be it. And so, yay me. Yay raw. I'm my own cheerleader. That's all I have for this video. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye.